Like,
The second bar of the first verse is Debo any rap nigga, he a free throw. Jesus Christ. This whole thing's lit up. Oh, I'm sorry for you, homie.
Say Drake, I hear you like him young. You better not ever go to cell block 1. 20 bitch that talk to him and they in love. Just make sure you hide your little sister from him. He's calling him all types of paedophile, bro.
It's fine, Tony. Sometimes you have to pull up outside the school and fight him outside when it finishes.
You know it hits deep for him when he's not replied. You know that his mum's on the phone like being like, Aubrey, calm down. Remember your breathing exercises. Remember, we're flying your writers out now and over your air. They'll be there in an hour. Just breathe. Just remember.
Do you want me to bring you food?
Yeah. Do you want me to bring some of that food you like?
How many diss tracks from Kendrick now?
I think this is 3.
Yeah.
3 in 24 hours, isn't it?
3 in 36 hours, so 3 back to back.
I reckon he's got another one coming tonight.
I can see another one. I didn't at first, but yeah, I can see.
And why do you think Drake hasn't replied?
Because he can't. Have you ever seen Boys in the Hood? You know the scene where Cuba Gooding Jr. comes home after the police has stopped him and he's like punching in the air?
Yeah.
That's Drake in the studio, but he's got his like Dewey on. He's got like a vest on. He's like, I am hip hop.
I hate it here. He's in battle rap like Jaden Smith was in China in the Karate Kid. He hates it. He just needs a sensei to help him.
That's where he's trying to reach the Cole and he's trying to get Cole.
Yeah, he wanted
Sensei
Cole. Help me.
How did the whole thing start in the first place? You know?
I think it's just Drake being like a sub guy in it.
The history that I've read, as one of many fans in so long.
You're so good at the
all
disclaimers.
Of this. Yeah, I'm slapping every disclaimer on it. I ain't shit yet, as Spoken Reasons used to say. In like 2010s, the come up was happening. They were bigging each other up. Double XL Freshman magazine was like putting all of these people on the same covers. So it was like, these are the new age of hip hop. Kendrick was getting like medals and the keys to the city from the West Coast greats. J. Cole was teaching kids how to read or whatever he was doing. Yeah, helping kids read good, whatever. Jesus Christ. Drake was entertaining everyone. He made everyone feel like a millionaire on their student budgets. We'll go into £5 entry, Deansgate locks, turning up because of Drake music. So like they each had a plane, and then it was that era where they were like featuring with each other, and it was currency to trade features. Kendrick, we had Poetic Justice, we had Drake. Arguably voted the worst song on that album. Critically, people always say Poetic Justice is the worst song because it's too whiny. I love that song, but so many people go, that's the worst song. So that's probably a chip on shoulders. And then Kendrick did the Control verse, and he rapped about everyone, and he said everyone's name. And then it was a matter of like, who wants to go against him?
So many people S out of that conversation.
Exactly.
Like,
so many people were like, you know what? Let him have that little old verse.
You can say my name, that's funny.
Yeah, he steered the direction of rap with that Control verse because we learned that like, people might beef different because they don't want to beef the way they used to. Because people could have easily pulled up and they'll be fighting outside the award shows the next week. And that just didn't happen, but everyone was a bit scared here. Drake just evolved into the pettiest version that he could. And for the next like 10 years, just kept dropping bars about how, one, he's the best in hip hop. And he's like, everyone else is like, it's cute what they do, but they ain't like breaking records. He's going to be the next MJ. He was doing like runs and like messing around with his Grammys and everything. Like he was doing that run while forever like dropping slight on other rappers being like lyrical rappers, boring. Like he kept doing stuff like that for 10 years. And then First Person Shooter came out and supposedly they invited Kendrick to be the third feature, to be a big three, because there was a lot of rumors about the big three. They haven't really featured with each other in a long time. Kendrick S'd out. And then Drake and J. Cole did a whole tour of that song. Drake was out here wearing military garms, military Under Armour, or whatever he's wearing on stage, to first-person shooter, while J. Cole has been like, I'm the best lyricist in the world, no one can touch me. J. Cole, I've learned, is phenomenal at beefing like an imaginary boogeyman. Middle Child would be the biggest song in a beef. Imagine if he started a beef track with them horns.
Yeah.
If he started any beef against an actual human with that, everyone's like, oh, it's over for you, bro. He brought a marching band to beef. Over. And because he didn't say a name, it was just like theoretical beef. Again, teaching the kids how to read. But yeah, and then Kendrick was like, yeah, I've had enough. And Future, Metro Boomin, they've also been openly like, Drake's a snake, we're done with it. As a culture, we need to accept that if we're all individually done with this person for what they've done, we're a power collectively. They went real democratic in hip hop. Dropped a whole mixtape and Kendrick flamed him on a feature verse. He was like, finally, if we're going to talk about it, let's talk about it.
The thing that's mad as well is that people, like, it gets even deeper. Like, when he's talking about, like, what, in the last diss, about, like, what he did in Atlanta, people are even deep in it and thinking about that's what he did in the UK. Bro, like, when was the last time you saw Drake with Skepta? When was the last time you saw Drake's BBK tattoo? Because he got a tattoo of Boy Better Knows.
Shit,
when was the last time you saw that, bro? When was the last time you saw
Drake
that?
just be stamping all his Infinity Stones.
He's probably covered that up with one of his tattoos of Sade or whatever. Like, I feel like
Aaliyah's crop top is over BBK.
It's like, she's got a crop top now?
nah.
I feel like he just picks up and puts down. He's like the approach. No, it can't be. I guess like an assimilator of hip hop. He plays both sides very well.
If hip hop was X-Men, he's Mystique.
Yeah, he knows how to shapeshift. He knows how to be in the streets and create songs that are going to get the streets playing and move our community. But he also knows how to create songs that are going to be played at like Susie from The Office's wedding.
Pacify. Everyone knows Kiki, Do You Love Me?
Yeah.
Everyone can sing that song. But for goodness sake, is it worth the actual stupidity that he floods hip-hop with?
But even like just the tone deafness of him, like after having people question his affinity and understanding of his like a part of his culture, there's then obviously him having bars referring to Kendrick as freeing slaves. So you're calling the very black community that you're trying to engage with enslaved, and you're trying to position yourself as if you're a part of the community. It's like, you sound so confused, bro. And it's like, and it's the same thing that Pusha has done. Like when Pusha did the story of Adidon, he highlighted it and then stepped back. And I think Kendrick now is just peeling back the layers that Push
He's making it sound fun.
Yeah.
Kendrick, everyone has always been like, oh, Kendrick's lyrical miracle. Kendrick is, he only raps to the people who just want to have a theory degree in like rap theory.
And he
Who
gives
want
us
to
a
do
bop.
like rap 101. Yeah, they're like, oh, Kendrick doesn't make bop music. He makes like depressed middle class brother music. He makes like searching your ancestry music. It's like, nah, he gave us a West Side Compton bop.
Yeah.
He has people crip walking who have never crip walked before this
Yeah.
week. I was out dancing in the sun with my cereal this morning.
Bro, if you go on YouTube, about how to crip walk is trending. Because of that, there'll be kids in Cheshire like learning how to crip walk this morning.
So yeah, he did it. And again, that was number 3. Kendrick Lamar has, I don't know why in music, and I think it's like a hip hop ego thing, that they assume the quiet person is the least dangerous.
We were talking about this on an Amazing Radio interview. It's that thing, I think, because hip hop was built on bravado, and bravado, to take it a step beyond bravado, is ego, and ego is like where you're taking your bravado to the limits. Yeah. Every artist has
Icarus
bravado,
with it, if you're that close, yeah.
It's like, you know you're good, you know your belief system, and you know, as an artist, you have to walk in a room knowing that you'll flame everybody, but you don't need to. There's a piece in that. But I feel like there's been a currency cross, particularly here within like our space, where it's that ego now. It's like, we were talking about it on that interview the other day. We're like, a lot of artists now feel like they have to lead egos. There are artists who walk into the room being like, why is no one acknowledging me? And then you go to the SoundCloud and the SoundCloud's dead. And it's like, it's because the art doesn't match the ego. Like, what I see now in the industry and what I see just from artistically, some of the best artists, like not just in the city but in the world, are the ones who are the most humble. And it's interesting seeing how that translates outside of our culture. Where we're in Jamaica, there was an absence of ego.
It was being in an absence of ego highlighted to me like how colorful creativity is, like how naively and like beautifully colorful the canvas is when there is no ego, when there's no people going like, I'm only looking for gold, silver, and platinum or whatever. When you don't have that, which is what taints and like narrows this field of vision, seeing people being able to just snap their fingers 3 times and just magic a song, and to just like telepathically connect a song, and it's not just we're gonna make people wave their arms in the club, to like connect a song that is like found like core feeding, like feeds the core. Seeing that type of creativity, you're right, it had to only happen in a world where people have to see every color on that spectrum.
I think it's that. I think that the vesseling out of artistry is being stripped out. Like, you know, if we understand that we're just vessels of creativity that exist within the universe, we're trying to use art to articulate an experience or to connect or to inform. Ultimately, art exists to bring human beings closer together or to push them apart. It's about that dynamic. I feel like the ego,
I think there's a middle dynamic, but go on.
I feel like the ego is impacting that. I feel like you can only bring someone together or push them apart without an absence of ego. Your ego is ultimately there when you're trying to push people apart. But if you want to bring someone into you, you have to let go of the ego and humble yourself. Because when you humble yourself, that's how you get on the level. When you get on the level, that's how the connectivity happens.
Okay, that's a bar.
Think about it. That's why the whole thing of like social media now with artists. Think about all of like the pop stars that we'd see years ago that you would never see anything of them on live. You see a lot of pop stars now just on live, like, hey, I've just woke up, hey guys, I'm just talking to you. It's about peeling back that layer, because I guess now fans want to know more about the artist, and artists want to connect with the fans more because they know the industry money isn't there. So it's like they need to go directly to source. So you can only go directly to the source by humbling yourself and being on a one-on-one level.
Do you know what? Yeah, I reflected on that. I don't know why I was going to argue against it. There's no need to be an advocate.
Think about what Mike said. Like, that's all. He was like, yo, like, like he has learned that that's what he does. And like, when you watch his socials, that's literally what he does.
He just talks to the people, talks with the people, not even at the people.
And his album that dropped this week is number 1.
Yeah, it's flying.
Yeah. It's like number 1. It dropped in the hip hop charts on iTunes. It's nuts.
I see dead people. Mustard on a beat, ho. It's a fucking crazy way.
And it links it back to the Joe L. Austin bar, because he was in Sixth Sense.
Ah, bro.
And that's a bar from the Sixth Sense. Well, not a bar, but a line.
Yeah.
It's nuts. Everything about it, bro. Like, I feel like even putting Drake's home on the artwork with all of those Google Maps things.
You know what they are?
No, what are they? No, what are they? Is that the pedo thing?
Yeah, it's
so
a
like
sex offender registry. You can click on the map there, the labels that it drops. And usually you can click on one and it expands to the profile of like, there's the name, here's how long, here's the parole conditions. Yeah, boo. He just dropped, I don't know how many are on that house. He said that house is full of them. Full of them. Yeah.
It's a big, massive.
Yeah, bro. He calls his house the embassy as well. Yeah, he has an embassy full of people.
I bet by the close of play today there'll be so many people pulling up. He's obviously left the road there.
He knows where they.
Very intentionally, so people will go.
Bruh, remember who was it that Chris Brown was beefing years ago, and then people just kept turning up at Chris Brown's house? But Chris Brown's house obviously isn't the embassy, so women would just like hopping the fence and running up his yard. He kept having to call police because people kept pulling up because someone did this to him. Yeah, it's hot for Drake. His security are raging right now. Yeah. They're like, this check ain't even worth it anymore.
There'll be because security, temporary, vacancies.
Bruh, they're open like it's a Christmas week.
This is why he's not been on stories today. He's been sorting out his security.
Yeah.
He's
He's
been
making
stressing.
real phone calls to G4S. Help!
His mama like, Drake, we sent some extra security
Yeah.
for you. Don't worry, your daddy's gonna fly out now. He's bringing you some of the extra strength, Dax. Get them waves going for the video.
How do you think the whole situation, the whole beef is going to end? Is there an end?
Kendrick's got another 2. He's gonna do 4.
2?
Yeah, he'll do 4 and
I said
5,
2 like Soulja
and then the
Boy.
final release will be the Heart Part 6.
Okay,
And the Heart,
yeah.
and the Heart will be like a summation of where hip hop is at, because Drake is the effigy of like how far hip hop has fallen.
He's the effigy of like plastic hip hop.
Yeah, and so
Yeah.
the Heart Part 6 is going to address that and talk about how he wants to bring it back to the roots of, I guess, like backpack rap and consciousness. That's the creative direction I see.
Yeah, I think I think Kendrick's gonna loop it back somehow to being like hip hop isn't about who has the biggest chain and the biggest house and anything like that. He's like, people talk about that because of the ego that society makes us have to have, but you can still just chill with your family. That's still a victory. Having a happy family is still a victory, is what I've learned so much from this. Because boy, he'll have it on the ropes if it's not.
I reckon one of the visuals will be that it'll just be Kendrick like with his kids like facing away from the camera, just sat there.
Bro, that's his album cover. And
Yeah.
he's got a piece in his back. Like, how ready was it from 2 years ago? 2 years ago, he sent us a picture of his wife, babies holding and a little gun in his back waist. Like, if they need it, they can have it. That's what he said looking at the window. And he gave us a whole therapy album for time. But he was also like, if they need it, they will have it. If anyone tries us. Mr. Morale should have been the example for Drake to be like, in all the subject matter we've got, don't even try and loop his family. Because he done rapped about it for 2 hours already on an album that's about to be studied at schools. Don't even try and bring his family into it. They're comfortable. His son's learning ABCs off YouTube or whatever. Like, he's out there helping his family grow and develop. Don't try nothing with any of them. He should have found other bars. But again, there's only so much you can rap about someone being a size 7 when 3 songs later, that size 7 is going to be heavy upon your neck.
I also just don't get like, I just don't get where he can go with this. Like right now,
There's only so many club tunes you can make, man. There's only so many tears you can shed in the club.
he'll either come back with a subpar diss track, or he'll take it too far. You know, like he tried to do the Pusha T thing where he's like, I didn't want to drop it because it felt ugly and I was saying things.
Oh, Jay Prince intervention.
Yeah.
We're gonna...
Yeah, he'll try that again.
Yeah.
Or I reckon he won't reply and then he'll distance himself from music and go into his acting bag again.
Some people said Drake needs to act again. But it's like, and I found it difficult to have conversations with Drake fans.
It's just so full of bullshit, bro.
Well,
It's like, I
it's
can't-
not even like, there's very little that they have to defend rather than it makes me feel good.
Your favourite rapper is
It's
a
like-
paedophile.
Yeah, if that makes you feel good, on your neck may it be. Like, it's one of those things that like, it's hard to argue. And I was like, I'm not biased. I'm hella biased. I'm wearing Cortez Kenny right now. I'm wearing the shorts and the long sock that she instructed me to. I am so biased, but also because fandom for me doesn't stop at you listen to it and then you close a little tab on whatever device you're using and then you continue the world. Because hip hop was a culture built outside of, it wasn't supposed to be contained. It was what happened outside of the world that was protected and contained. So when I see people being like, oh, but it's just fun music. Oh, we just go out there and dance and go fun. It's like, no, we still have to live life outside. We can go have so much fun in the club, be searched on our walk home. There's so many things that we have to balance. I want music that will play all through that.
Yeah.
I'll be pissed as fuck if I get pulled over and fucking Hotline Bling is playing. I'll be so angry if that's the soundtrack to me being violated as a black guy. But with Drake, sometimes you can't take that risk. His music is for the safe spaces where people can pretend that nothing else actually happens of matter. And if people live in a world where that is their life, where the crazy shit that ever happens in their life is Friday to Sunday morning, good for you. More blessed the life that they live. But for the rest of us, sometimes we have to accept Monday to Friday is heavy as shit and there's bills bills to run, and that's what Good Kid, Mad City does for us.
It's so true. I wonder the thing that trips me up about one of his disses as well was the use of the drill beat. I was like, why not? Like, you've never heard Kendrick on drill. And it's like, why not go for a West Coast beef? And I'm like, will a UK rapper now take that as an invitation to get into the mix? Or a UK MC? Like, one of the ones that I've worked with him who have been through the Drake system.
I don't think anyone is offering Drake a feature. I don't think anyone is calling Drake like, yo, I've got your back if you need it. Kendrick can pull up so many people to drop feature verses with him now, and he will never ask for it. No one. Drake had, like, who's he going to call from his international roster like
Central
Thanos?
C.
Central C. No one wants that. He can't call Sexy Red because he's already been called two types of bad bitches referring to Sexy Red.
You can't call
Can't do that. Can't call Skepta. Skepta won't go anywhere near something like that.
Giggs.
Skepta's being a DJ at Coachella right now. Yeah. Giggs is too hot off the press because he was too close to Diddy last year. There's two, they were toasted. We saw Giggs was uncomfortable, but you were still in the room. Like, you weren't in the room, but you heard clapping. Like, there's levels of closeness. I'm not saying he was in the kitchen, but he smelled what was cooking. There's too many levels, so the earthquakes that happen are just not it's not welcoming. Wizkid ain't gonna do anything with him. Bieber ain't gonna do anything. Like, all of these people have too much shit to deal with at home, and that's a testament to Kendrick being like, the world you live in is full of sin. He was like, it's full of sin there, because he's like, who are you gonna call? There ain't no fucking Ghostbusters.
I also love it how he's just like taking him apart as a human being. He's like, I don't even.
I hate the way that you walk, the way that you talk, the way that you.
I just hate you. I just hate you, innit?
Bro, in one of the bars in one of the songs, Kendrick goes, I don't have a hating bone in my body. And then for another 17 minutes of rap over 4 songs, he hates him in every type of way, from his genetics to the way his hair curls, to the way he uses the ER on the end of words that he shouldn't.
Bro.
Yeah, bro, he hated him all types of ways. And do you know what? I read a caption on the internet, props to the internet for showing me this, that Kendrick has taught us that it's healthy to hate in a way that is fueled by truth. And we need to carry that as a people. It's okay to, you don't have to forgive everything. Sometimes blam them in the face, but you have to do it with truth. Cat Williams said it at the beginning of this year too.
It's true, man. Like, we live in this culture of where we always have to have this positivity, and sometimes
carry your truth or someone else will.
Yeah. Poor Drake.
Oh man.
There's just nowhere for him to go.
I tried to be so indifferent, but again, I'm biased, so
It was the way after Kendrick was like, we don't want to hear you say the N-word no more.
Yeah.
And then he opens with it. And bro, like you said, you can hear him leaning into it.
That was like take 4, he leant into it, he emphasized the N, and he was like, have you seen that video of that old guy that Boondocks made into the cartoon? The old guy who said the N-word?
Oh, yeah.
That was Drake. Drake was that old teacher being like, I said it with an A-H. I said, God.
I don't get this.
I didn't say grr. I said, God.
Like, I wonder also, like, with the whole body thing, I think that was funny as well. Like, when he was saying he had like a BBL and he got his abs implanted and stuff like that. It's just all very good. It's peeling back the layer of plastic hip hop.
Exactly. Like, bro, he was out here on Tux K-Car showing us the abs on there. Like, who is that for? That's not for anyone in hip hop. No one in hip hop is doing that. We've accepted Rick Ross is out here with the Mount Rushmore across his body. Hardest bars in hip hop at the time. Rick Ross got that medal repeatedly. We were loving DJ Khaled acting a fool. We allowed all of that. We clearly, as a culture, are not here to body shame or to praise body or to praise the physicals in any type of way. Kanye already did that enough as a culture for a while. Yeah.
Yeah.
Big pun, like all of that. Like, as a culture,
rapping, eating chicken.
weight was never an issue for the people who could bar.
Yeah. It is not.
So he was out here trying to catch up with Scissor and Sexy Red and all of them.
One thing that lives rent free for me is like, I wonder what that call with his dad was like after the story of Adidon dropped. You know, like when his dad saw that picture of him in like blackface.
I don't think that was his dad's issue. No, I don't think that was an issue.
What do you
The
mean?
theory and the story I have in my head is real soap opera. He saw that, and like we've seen with the latest responses in which he's so quickly denied having a daughter when the other allegations are slapping him upside the head that are like, they're moral, legal things, the other allegations, but he's like, I don't have a daughter. You could have a daughter. Your dad probably denied you somewhere, like Judas. Yeah. Like, something else probably happened in the history that denied him, but that was where he laid his first hat, was like, I don't have a daughter, calling academic. If I have a daughter and someone proves it, I'll work for you. Ha 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 ha. Bro, he called you all types of P word.
Yeah.
For me, I think the issue when you go back to the story of Adidon was Pusha T revealed the son. He said all of these crazy things that like, you go for wayward women, all due respect to what they do. Pusha T said all these types of things. And then that was the image. And Drake probably called his dad thinking like that picture, because that was where Drake's card, his inherited N-word card came from.
Yeah.
Like, it was inherited, stamped. He had to probably check in like a visa. Every 3 to 5 years, get it stamped.
Do some sort of
he had to go do some community service, get cornrows, go to ATL. Like, he had to do all of those things. So he called his dad, thinking like, "Oh, my dad's gonna be so angry at like these things." And I bet his dad was like, "Ha, they caught you too with a baby, huh?" And Dre has to laugh, but also go, 30 years ago, I was the baby that was the joke on the phone. They caught you too with a baby. I feel like that's the world that we're having to challenge.
This is why he's on. This is why he's on like.
Cancel me out. I'm just a fan.
This is why he's on his villain arc, though.
Yeah.
This is the beginning
He
of
has
his
to be,
super
bro.
villain arc.
He has to be a villain. That's why I said he's dressed in all that military gear, because that BBL has to be held in while he's claiming bars. You saw that video of him floating above the stadium wearing a top hat with an air gun. They were just playing the track and he was doing his own ad-libs with an air gun mid-battle with Kendrick Lamar. Could you imagine how lost you may have to be? He was out here looking like the guy who did that Coney 2012 and was running naked in the streets. Like, lyrically, you have to process things different.
It is pets, man. But yeah, yo, we've done pretty much a whole episode on that. That was nuts.